Carve-out transactions are among the most complex types of M&A deals. They involve separating a division, business unit, or asset group from a larger organization to be sold or spun off. In Vietnam, legal and regulatory systems are not always designed with carve-outs in mind, making legal strategy absolutely essential. In this video, we explain what makes carve-out deals so challenging in Vietnam and the legal strategies you need to execute them successfully. A carve-out deal occurs when a parent company sells part of its business, such as a product line, business unit, or operating division, rather than the entire company. The buyer acquires only selected assets, contracts, staff, and operations. Carve-outs often occur when companies want to divest non-core operations, raise capital, or comply with antitrust conditions. In Vietnam, this structure requires careful legal planning because most business registrations are entity-based, not function-based. Vietnamese companies often operate multiple business lines under a single legal entity without separate subsidiaries or branches. As a result, business functions are intertwined, sharing HR, contracts, licenses, and infrastructure. There is rarely a clean legal separation of the unit being sold. This creates difficulties in defining what exactly is being carved out and how to transfer it without disrupting ongoing operations or breaching legal requirements. The first legal step in a carve-out is defining the transaction perimeter. This includes which assets, employees, customer contracts, IP, licenses, and facilities are being transferred. You must document what belongs to the unit being sold, what will be shared post-closing, and what stays with the seller. A detailed schedule of carve-out assets and liabilities is essential to avoid disputes and ensure regulatory approvals are based on accurate scopes. There are typically two legal options for executing a carve-out in Vietnam. The first is an asset transfer, where the buyer acquires specific assets directly from the parent company. The second is subsidiary formation, where the seller first transfers the carved-out business into a new entity, then sells shares in that entity. The second method often provides a cleaner transfer structure and simplifies regulatory filings, but takes more time up front. Choosing the right path depends on deal urgency, asset complexity, and licensing issues. Carve-out deals often trigger licensing issues. Licenses held by the parent entity may not be transferable, or the carved-out unit may not be independently licensed. In these cases, the buyer must apply for new licenses post-closing, or the seller must restructure operations in advance. Regulatory bodies may also require separate approvals for sector-specific operations. Legal counsel should conduct a full license gap analysis and build a roadmap for regulatory compliance. In a carve-out, employees and contracts do not automatically transfer. Employees must consent to transfer, and contracts must allow assignment or be novated. Labor restructuring must comply with Vietnamese labor law, including notice periods, consent forms, and potential severance payments. Commercial contracts must be reviewed for change of control clauses, transfer restrictions, and required counterparty approvals. These steps should begin early, as delays in employee or contract transfer can jeopardize operational continuity. To ensure business continuity post-closing, buyers and sellers often sign a transitional services agreement. Under a TSA, the seller continues to provide certain services, such as IT, payroll, procurement, or office space, for a fixed period after the transaction. This gives the buyer time to set up standalone operations. The TSA must be legally binding, clearly define responsibilities, fees, termination rights, and dispute mechanisms. Without a strong TSA, operational risk post-closing is high. Carve-outs have significant tax and accounting implications. Asset transfers may trigger VAT, capital gains tax, or registration taxes. Transfer pricing, intercompany debt, and allocation of costs must be carefully documented. Buyers should also verify that the seller has clean tax records, especially for the business line being carved out. Tax structuring should be coordinated between legal and financial advisors to avoid post-closing surprises. At LTS Law, we support clients through the full legal cycle of carve-out transactions in Vietnam. We help define the deal perimeter, draft asset and share transfer agreements, prepare licensing applications, manage employee and contract transfers, and negotiate transitional service arrangements. Our expertise allows buyers and sellers to separate business lines cleanly, with legal clarity and compliance at every stage. If you are considering a carve-out transaction in Vietnam, legal strategy is not optional. It is the foundation of a successful deal. Contact LTS Law or visit lts.com.vn to schedule a consultation. We help you carve out value, not complexity.